Recording is rolling. It is Monday, August 11th. So, welcome to Physics Honors. When you guys were walking in, it gave you guys a syllabus curriculum page, and down at the bottom in large font is written this Google Classroom code. Go ahead and write that down somewhere. If you have a planner, write that in your planner. If oh yeah, oh yeah. By the way, oh yeah. There you go. Okay, thanks, guys. Right. So main thing I want you guys to do today is just hop on that Google Classroom. Here, actually, I'll show you guys a few things. I did upload a few things. There's not a lot on it right now, but let me switch this over to, oh, yep, Physics 1. Yeah, this is you guys right here. So let's say, here's some stuff that's loaded here already. So when you guys walked in, I gave you guys the curriculum syllabus. You guys have that. All these posters that are hanging around my ceiling right now, I put them all in a book, have those. Actually, I also printed those out. So that's what's in the page protector. You guys see all those little thumbnail versions. I've taught this class so many years. I know all the classic questions that come up with. So you guys have those. There's this guy named Paul Hewitt back in the 1980s, 1990s. He had a community college class, and he has a lot of really cool demos that are just down to like 1 or 2 minutes long. So I went ahead and uploaded those for you guys. I'll play some of those like throughout class in the coming months. Have those. There's some University of Colorado Boulder physics simulations. So if you like simulations, those are there. When you guys get your laptops tomorrow, hey, you can start playing around with that. Algebra trigonometry review pages. Normally near the beginning of the year, one thing I'll do is review with you guys some algebra and some trigonometry vectors. You guys like sine and cosine kind of stuff, right? So that shows up a lot in this class is pertaining to vectors. So if you push something, say northeast, it's like, well, how much north and how much east kind of thing, right? So that's just sine and cosine. That's what that is, right? Yeah, I don't know if we'll end up using all these, maybe not, but those are there for you guys. Usually as we're going along throughout the class, throughout the school year, like usually on every Saturday about, I like to upload a bunch of documents. And then as class rolls along, if you either lose something I give you in class, or if you were absent for whatever reason, you can normally go to Google Classroom and find it and print it out if you need it, right? Oh, and here's one I uploaded just this morning. It's this BPS laptop agreement. You guys know tomorrow's laptop day, right? Tomorrow's laptop day. So during registration, you probably had a one-to-one agreement. Actually, I do have a few extra right here. Does anybody need a one-to-one agreement? One-to-one? Okay, this here. Go ahead and do. We've got a stack right here for you guys. So take this home, get the sign it, whatever I want you to do, so that tomorrow you can get hold of a laptop, right? If you need to print that, then there you go. It's right there too. Right. And then after school today, I will upload this video. So if you need to go back and see exactly how did I phrase something, and that'll be true every day. Every day I will upload a video to that Google Classroom right there. All right. Right. So you guys can do that tonight. Right. Perseid meteor shower normally kicks off the school year. Now, so not tonight because today's the 11th, but maybe tomorrow night. So the 12th and the day after that. If you look up in the sky, you might see some shooting stars. Okay.
They give you the nearest first period, right?
Yeah.
What if we
So,
don't have one?
huh?
What if we have like college class?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if you don't have a first period tomorrow, then go to the media center at some point, and I think from the media center you can get a laptop from there. All right. All right. How do you guys doing? Everybody okay so far? You good? All right. So of course, first day, I gotta go over a lot of things. Got like all the drills and passes and rules and stuff. But I'm trying to eventually work towards what is this class going to look like? What you can get out of this class, and then I have a bunch of slides that are related to questions that are going to come up throughout the class, just to pique your imagination. That we won't really get to today, so I'll have to save those for probably Wednesday. So tonight, I really want you guys to just join Google Classroom, so you'll be there, know what that looks like. Maybe explore some of the materials. I wanted to put something in your hand so you can kind of leaf through it. I don't want to, well, okay, different issues with textbooks and stuff, but I know the first 2 weeks there's a lot of schedule changes and stuff, so there's some reasons I'm not handing anything out like that yet, but you guys got some materials to look at. Okay. All right. I think you guys did this already, so just double check. So since you guys are my 7th period class next to the 7, you wrote your name there. All right, so everybody's got that. Everybody wrote their name and the desk that they like. All right, so again, after school today, I'm gonna go around, make a bunch of seating charts so that starting tomorrow, you do tens real fast. It'll take me a few weeks to learn your guys' names, but that'll help me do that too. Okay. That blank. All right, bell schedule. So if you're sitting in class, you guys see I have this posted right here and also right over here. Got a couple bell schedules going on. Is that okay? If you were in the school for past few years, you might see a couple little changes here. So one change, you guys remember last year there were 3 lunches. Now they're down to 2, right? So, still a quick little math right here. So if there are about 2,000 students in the school and you divvy that among 3 lunches, approximately how many students is that per lunch? About 700, about pretty close. Yeah. Right. Now, if you take 2,000 and divvy it to 2 lunches, that's about how many?
1,000.
About 1,000. Yeah. You guys ran into that earlier today?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, guess you guys gonna figure that one out. So good luck there. Here's another change. You guys know Fridays would normally get out early. I know the last few years it's been what 2:15, and now it's what like 2:30. Okay, so you're with that. Oh, except for this week, I'm told that this coming Friday is just a regular schedule. We get out at 3:30. Okay, but I think it's the only one that's like okay. So let's go on there. Okay, so here's tomorrow, laptop day. If you remember how this worked last year, I think it's pretty much the same. So this is pretty much going to be all day tomorrow is working with these laptops. So yeah, your first period class, laptop checkout, and then every class after that, there's either videos that we're taking you guys through or surveys or quizzes that you're doing, something like that. So that'll be all day. Yeah, if you don't have a first period class, go to the media center at some point and they'll get your laptop. If you need that one-to-one paper, I have a few extra here, and you can access that on the Google Classroom for this class. Okay. Oh, by the way, on this presentation, if you have any questions anytime, just raise your hand and ask me. If you have a question, probably a bunch of your classmates are wondering the same thing. All right, so passes, I'm going to stick to the system we had going on last year, which worked pretty good. So in class, you guys see I have a couple passes hanging right here, a couple passes. You got a green one, got a red one. All right, so normally in this class, I'll like be in the flow of say teaching you guys physics, doing something. I mean, some days you get the labs. I mean, there are plenty of labs too, but I might just be up here like solving something. Right? And then if you have to use the restroom, just walk up here, grab one of these passes. Look at me, I'll give you a thumbs up or something. You can just go to the restroom as you need to. And you guys know there's going to be some recording going on almost all the time. So yeah, just so that you can just discreetly use that when you need it. Try to just be out like no more than 5 minutes, just as you need it. So you can just have one student out at a time, the whole thing. Yeah. If you know to go to clinic or guidance, that's what the red one's for, or the office or any other place. If there's something special you need, just let me know and I'll write something on paper for you guys. There's also a school rule, no passes the first or last 10 minutes class. They help maintain order in the school too. So imagine from an admin's point of view, if there's students using passes the first 10 minutes of class, then that's tricky because it's like, well, like who's using a pass and who's tardy for class, and it's like, okay, that's a mess on their end. In the last 10 minutes of class, like, well, if he's either trying to get to lunch early or get out of school early, and that's a mess too. So really just the middle of class. I mean, if you really need a pass, then please really try to keep it kind of towards the middle of class if you can. All right. So you guys good on passes? How that system's working? Pretty good. All right. What about when this guy starts singing his song, fire alarm rings? What do? And you guys say, yeah, sit there and stare, nothing. That's right. Everybody got that. Yeah, stay in place, wait for further instruction. So at this point, somebody come on the intercom and they'll tell us one of 3 things. So there are these 3 main categories of drills. So let's go through these. All right. If they say shelter in place, what does that mean to do? Yeah, they're just gonna stay right here. I'll just keep doing my thing. You guys do your thing. If you got a lab, just keep doing your lab. Right? You guys know from the past, they normally call these during lightning storms, right? So if you're like running around the halls and you're getting zapped by lightning, and that's no good for anybody. So yeah, so we're just gonna stay in here, just do our thing, right? And try not to be using the restroom or anything like that. Lockdown. If they call it lockdown. Here, I'm gonna flip on lights just for a minute here. You guys ready? Here's lights. Lights. Okay. So you guys see on the back wall that red card? There's a red card taped to the back wall. You guys see that? So somebody put that in my room over the summer. That is our hard corner. You guys know hard corner? So the doors automatically lock. If they call a lockdown, we're gonna just go back behind those lab tables because we got a science room, so we have these really nice lab tables. We're just gonna hunker down behind the lab tables. We won't be within view of this door window, and we'll just wait for the drill to be over. So it's around like 5 minutes or something like that. It'll be. Okay, any questions on those first 2 kind of drills? Okay. Then if they call an actual fire drill evacuation, all right, now this one's going to branch into 2 possibilities because there's a side A and a side B, right? So yeah, I'll show you guys a couple slides on the here. I'm gonna flip ahead a little bit. Right, so you guys see, you guys get to see two slides of this. So I'll show you guys a slide A and the side A, side B, different slides, right? So let's look at from the aerial point of view. So this is the building we're in right now. This is building 3, right? Actually, where my mouse cursor is, that's like right hovering over my classroom right there, right? Building 3, right? So regardless of what kind of drill, A or B, or what kind of evacuation, which site we're going to, they start out the same. We're gonna drop this cluster door right here, gonna hang left, go all the way to the back side of the school. We'll go out these fire escape doors right here. Right, and then it depends. So if they call site A, you guys see this big old sidewalk running around back side of the school sidewalk. So you guys probably remember maybe from last year, there's a bunch of numbers painted into the sidewalk. You guys seen those numbers, right? So we are going to be number 118, which is right by the storage shed. It has a bunch of sports equipment in it. Right, so you guys see the shed right here. Okay, I'll show you guys that too. Next slide. Right, if they call site B, we're going to go over to this football stadium. You guys see all these bleachers right here. Now, in front of each set of bleachers, there's a card with a letter on it. I mean, it's there right now if you guys go after school. So it starts with A, and then B, C, D, and so on all the way down. We're supposed to be in bleacher set D. So they send us to site B, we're going to, well, bleacher set D is what we're doing. Okay? So let's get a different view of this evacuation plan. So site A, right, here's our building right here, building 3. So I think this is east is, oh yeah, there it is. So north is to the, so this is our building 3. Okay. So yeah, we're headed down this way, go out, and then, oh, here's that little sports shed right there. So number 118. Oh, here we go. So number 118 is like right there. Okay. So you guys good there? Okay. They send us to site B. Then, okay, the school's like down below the projection. So we're coming from kind of that direction. And then we'll go into section D on the home bleachers. All right, you guys get that? Everybody right? All right. One more detail on fire drill evacuations is I had to make these a few years back. So I got my name on a stick, or you guys see this? So I will hold this straight up. So when there's thousands of students out there, all right, you guys see, oh, gripping on a stick. Oh yeah, gripping on a stick. And you know exactly where I am, where the class is supposed to be. No, I don't expect you guys to memorize like the number 118 or anything. So if they send us out there, I'll throw this up real fast and then we'll make our way down there. All right, so you guys good with evacuations, drills, all that? Okay. All right. Ooh, okay, so slide by slide, get you guys a little closer to the content of this class. So let's take a big picture about how's this gonna eventually connect to your life, or what are you doing with your life, right? So look real close. Do you guys see a bunch of squares on this graphic? A bunch of little squares. You just squint a little bit. Square. Yeah, how many squares across? How many squares across? 52? I think that's right. Yeah. 40, 45, 50, 52. Right? How many squares down? About, yeah, I think that's right. Like 89, something like that. Yeah, it's about 80, 80, 90, something like that. Ooh, so what does every square represent? A week. A week in your life. And this gold band right here is labeled high school. So you guys are probably right about here, you know, plus or minus your birthday date in a few months, probably somewhere right in there, right? And when Friday rolls around, I bet this week's gonna whip by and it'll be Friday, it'll be the weekend. You can check off one more box. And when you check off all the boxes, it is game over. So, what do you want to do with the space right here? Because life is short, goes fast. What do you want to experience in life? What do you want to get out of life? What do you want to give to others or contribute? A lot of things to figure out right now in your last couple of years of high school. Here's one framework for thinking about that. I mean, not the only framework, but just one way is, how about the intersection of all these ideas here? What do you love doing? What do you enjoy doing? What are you good at, skilled at? I mean, those could maybe go hand in hand. You know, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, right? Always have like natural abilities, right? What could you be paid for, or what does the world need? A lot of times those go hand in hand, right? There's maybe like some labor demand, like demand for your labor and some job market, right? I think if you can wake up every day and you get to do what you enjoy doing, and you've built the skills for that, you maybe have some natural skill and you just extend it on top of that, and you have a job that's paying a good salary. I think that's a good place to be in life. Maybe it doesn't capture everything, and maybe you want to also have a family, but you got to have a way to raise them and have a salary to back that up. So there you go, right? So what do you enjoy doing? What skills maybe do you want to develop? Because you guys are at an age now. I mean, every single one of us is as old as we've ever been. But hey, 20 years ago, you guys can look back and think, wow, yeah, I was actually pretty young back at age 16, 17. You guys have a lot of neuroplasticity. That's the ability for your brain to learn new things, right? Like, if you have a 5-year-old kid, how do you teach a 5-year-old kid to hold language? Oh, well, you just talk to them and they just pick it up, like almost no effort, right? And the older you get, usually the more and more difficult it is to pick up new concepts. Like, I mean, there's counterexamples too. Like you're not going to teach a 5-year-old kid calculus right away, but it takes some time to build that. But there's a trade-off. But yeah, you guys are in a good place in life to start considering like metacognitively. Okay, well, what skills do I want to have, and how am I going to get from point A to point B, and what can I start working on here? Do I want to learn how to craft this, or play this instrument, or learn this skill? And yeah, certainly. Since this is a physics class, how could physics connect to that? Right? You might be surprised. You never know exactly what a connection is going to be. I remember I had a student a few years ago who's in drama, working in the school play, and there's like this big motorcycle he had to pick up as part of the scene. And there's, oh yeah, I could just take physics knowledge and actually know something about torque and actually help me like pick up the motorcycle a little bit easier because I have that framework to think in terms of who knows he was going to pick that up out of this class, but I was able to, right? Is it possible that you will work a job that doesn't even exist yet? And there's a link here that says 20 jobs that didn't exist 20 years ago, which I'm not going to click on. It's probably outdated anyway. But here's a specific example of this. Is back when I was in high school, in your guys' shoes, YouTube did not even exist. So there's so many people now that are able to create entire careers on that. Maybe some of you guys are starting to upload stuff and starting to say, can I make a career out of this? Maybe I can, right? But back when I was in high school, that wasn't even a concept because it didn't exist, right? And technology and society is changing so fast anymore. Especially with artificial intelligence, AI. Like, what is society even going to look like 20 years from now? I don't even know. I mean, that's a real open question. There's a legitimate question. It's like, are there even going to be enough jobs and careers for an entire society even 20 years from now? Yeah, maybe not. So who knows exactly what the world's even going to look like going into the future? But the best you can do is to think about these things now and consider what you enjoy doing, what skills you want to develop, and really make the most of any one of your classes. And who knows how things are going to connect down the line. Habits. Habits. Okay, these are routines that are hard to break, and that goes both ways for good habits, bad habits. So, I mean, I've seen the cycle year after year. You guys probably too. That summer rolls around. Summer is so refreshing. It's like everybody needs a reset. You need to like do a little vacation or work on some things that you wanted to. Or it's just not school. Like, oh, okay. And then August comes around, and now we're back in this routine, which is also really nice because I always feel this too. Like near the end of summer, it's like, okay, these last few days, maybe run out of ideas, things that I want to do, and now that just got a couple of days that are rolling by, like, yeah, it's nice to have a routine sometimes too. So then now we're back in school, and I'm always able to come up with a bunch of new ideas for my classes over the summer that just in the thick of the school year I never would have been able to think of. But now I can. So now I'm more relaxed and able to think of it. Right. And then we establish some routine. Now, there's lots of cognitive science to show that if you stick with some particular routine for like 3 or 4 weeks, is all it takes. And then it sort of builds into your brain. And now that becomes a habit, that becomes a routine. And if you go home every day and all you do is just like surf on the internet until you go to sleep, then, well, that's bad because you're going to get behind on your schoolwork and also any other goals you had in life. Like, oh, I really wanted to learn like this particular skill that's outside my classes anyway, but I don't have time for that. Or I wanted to hang out with friends, but I didn't have time for that. Right? Like if you're unorganized about things or not making an effort, then by the time September, October rolls around, it's really hard to break that. Right? But if you build good routines, then that'll be really good. Right? So, here, for example, using a planner, like I know every day at the end of school, I'll be just wiped out, exhausted, and I think you guys too, because academic work it's hard work. Right? And so it'd be like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'm at home. I'm exhausted. I have to take a break, eat dinner, watch a couple of YouTube videos, whatever. And then I pull up my planner, and over the course of the day, I've written down a bunch of tasks that I need to do. And because I have it organized, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot I do need to do that. Right, but I have it all in front of me. I gotta do these 5 things. Check, 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 check. Right, and then I'm organized. I know what I need to do. Get ready to teach you guys tomorrow or whatever else. And I might even have some time left over sometimes to work on some other projects I wanted to work on. It's like, okay, well, I also had this on my list, and hey, I got time to do that too. Like this fun thing, or I wanted to work on this project, or work on this hobby, or maybe there's this TV show that shows up on Wednesdays, and I want to make the space and time for that. Or how about time with your friends and family? Hey, I want to hang out with my friends on this day. Hey, make a space and a time for it. But if you make a space and a time for things, then you'll be organized and you'll be able to do all the things that you want to do. All right. So you go back up here. Oh, yeah. All right. So yeah. So we got this routine. We're all going to establish good habits during August, September. Right. You're probably pretty good to go if you just keep the momentum of good habits. Right. Like, what kind of student were you last year, and what kind of student do you want to be this year? Do you want to do the same thing you did last year, or not? And it might depend up to you. Right, so what does that quote say? You're under no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago, right? Because like once you get into your routine, right, it's like, okay, I've got this inertia of my personality and how I do things, and if it's good, then just keep doing it. Right? So if last year you kept a planner and you were organized, and you were on top of all your school assignments, and you also had some interests outside of school, and you could be on top of those too, and spent good time with friends, and right, you got it all organized, it's all good. Just keep doing that. Yeah, just keep doing it. On the other hand, if you're thinking to last year, like, ooh, yeah, we got a few months in, and I got into this really bad habit of I just like scroll on the internet, and I was running out of time, and all my assignments were stacked up, and it was super stressful, and I was always behind, and I didn't have time to do all the stuff I wanted to do, or right, then prepare for that now, because you can get around that if just well organized and you're using a planner. Right? That's the other thing I really want you guys to. I really recommend using a planner. Some years the school gives out planners, and it depends how much money they have, what's in their budget. Some years they give out planners, sometimes not. If you have a planner, definitely use it. Definitely use it. If you've never used a planner before, try one out. Just try something new, and I guarantee you, it'll make your life so much better. If you don't have a planner, go talk to your parents tonight and ask them, hey, could you please just buy me a planner and start using that, and yeah, it'll make your school life better. Oh, here you go. Space and time dedicated to your studies, space and time dedicated to your personal interests, right? Hobbies you want to work on, skills you want to develop, friends you want to hang out with. I've seen students your age do a lot of really, really cool things. I've seen students design web pages that are really full and put together art projects and like write music, do all kind of cool things. So yeah, so what do you want to get out of life? How do you want to navigate through? Just make a space and time for it, and yeah, got it right there. Oh, here's a good word of advice too. Apply positive framing. So if you can be engaged in all your classes, in this class, we're going to solve a bunch of physics puzzles, do a bunch of labs. If you can enjoy that, apply positive framing coming to school, that can only help you too. I've seen so many people just walk around with a negative attitude towards life and just like whine and complain about everything and just look for all the negativity and everything. And oh, this isn't perfect. And then that negativity just rubs off on other people, and now nobody's happy. It doesn't really help anybody, right? Like, I mean, there's a place to criticize things too. There's true constructive criticism, but then there's just like looking for like the bad and everything. But if you come to school and or you're like engaged in each one of your classes, think, oh, I bet there's something good I can get out of this. I might not even know what it is until like 15, 20 years from now, but who knows? It might just be a thought process, right? And so if you're learning physics, you're learning like the rules of the universe, you might be surprised where you might be able to apply that down the line. So have a positive attitude. Yeah, that can only help you too. Right? It's a more fun way to go through life anyway. Ooh, recommended materials. So some kind of calculator is good to have. Now, this is the one I use, this TI-30X2S, which is also the same one that's on your desk. I have a class set of these. So if you want to punch the exact same buttons as I'm punching as we go along, this will, of course, do all the regular mathematical routines, multiplies, square root, the whole thing. This particular calculator also has trig functions on it. So sine, cosine, tangent. You guys know sine, cosine and stuff, right? Which we'll be doing a lot in this class also. So vector components, right? I say up to the right, like how much up, how much to the right with sine and cosine. There's also some probability statistics, so you can like find standard deviations and this sort of thing. Okay? Now, if you want to use your own calculator, then that's fine too. If you have a really fancy graphing calculator, no problem. You just be more on your own to figure out exactly what buttons to push or how to make it work. Okay? Now, this one, is like about $10 at Walmart and Target, so you can find it. So if you wanted to have the exact same calculator I have, it's on your desk. Yeah, it's about $10. Yeah, with that. Planner, yeah, organize your life, accomplish your goals. Again, some of you guys have planner already. If you don't, yeah, that's the other thing I want you guys to do. So really a couple things tonight. So log on to Google Classroom tonight, just so you're there, you can kind of see, find this video. Okay? And ask your parents for a planner if you don't have a planner yet. And then start using that planner. And I guarantee you it's gonna make your life so much better. Notebook, something to keep notes in, some paper to write on. If you want to use a spiral notebook, that's fine. If you want to do 3 reminder and loose leaf paper, that's fine. That's just something. A lot of days I'll be up here solving physics puzzles. I might start something and then I'll walk around the room and see who can actually solve it. And if you can solve something, say before I finish solving it, then that's a good indication to both you and me that you know what you're doing, right? You know how to solve it. Okay. Besides that, it's good to keep notes anyway. Helps solidify concepts in your mind better, right? Like if you're writing, that's more active than just listening, right? So yeah, helps the brain learn material better anyway. You don't want to be writing something for the first time, say on a quiz or a test, like, oh, I've never actually solved this out on paper before, right? That would be bad, right? There have been plenty of times where I've been taking notes in class and I look at my notes after the fact, say at the end of the day, and I see something I wrote that I didn't even remember writing or hear the teacher saying for that matter. It's like, oh, well, good thing I wrote that down because I don't even remember him saying that. So yeah, so lots of good reasons to keep notes. Yeah, don't worry about the lab notebook so much, AP thing. If you take AP, you guys know advanced placement, you can get college credit for it. So, but now for you guys, we'll just be doing lab by lab individual. So sometimes I'll have you guys pull out a blank piece of paper, have you guys like keep a table and draw graphs. Sometimes I'll have something pre-printed to save a few minutes. Like that. All right. How you guys doing? You guys good so far? Any questions? All right. Ooh, I got the Hubble Deep Field here. So what is this class anyway? What is physics? All right, so yeah, we're getting a step closer to what is this class about? So in a nutshell, the study of the laws of nature that govern matter and motion in the universe. So here, here's some examples with you guys. Yeah, let's do driving a car. You guys get your driver's licenses? How many of you guys have a driver's license right now? How many guys? About half the class? I bet some of you guys are gonna get pretty soon. So here, you guys ever slam on the gas pedal and you feel like you're pushed back into your seat? Feels like, and what's the correlation? Like how much do you smash the gas pedal and how much do you feel like you're pushed back into your seat? What if you were in a jet? What if you're on a rocket? What would that feel like? What does that look like from the outside? What if you're standing by a tree, you're watching the car speed up? What does that mean to speed up? Is there a way to quantify that? Right? Like how much road for how much time? How much change in speed? How do you quantify that? Right? What if you slam on the brake? Right? So deer runs out in front of the car. Whoa, better slam on the brake. What's my reaction time to start hitting the brake? How far is the car move? How much road does it take to bring the car to a stop? How much time does it take? Right? How about turn the steering wheel? Right? If you're blindfolded, can you turn the steering wheel? Right? How about this? You're on I-95, just going straight north. Constant velocity, 70 miles an hour, 70, 70, 70. Okay. What does that feel like? Does it feel kind of like just sitting at rest in this classroom right now? Can you feel the difference? What can you feel in a car? Can you feel speed? Or do you feel speeding up and slowing down? Feel a change in speed? Right? Right? How about hey, speaking of which, are we on a giant rotating planet right now? Going almost 1,000 miles an hour straight towards the east? Can you feel that? I wonder if there's any experiment you could do where just in the walls of this room you could determine, something about the Earth rotating, Right? So I'm just like spitballing some questions, but those are some questions we're going to run into. Okay. So what's some applications of this class? Where do you get out of this class by the time May rolls around? That okay, well, good that took that class because now I have this or that skill or this or that knowledge or this or that way of thinking about things, right? Okay. So I have some different perspectives on that. Now this slide is for maybe like direct application careers. Here, show of hands. How many guys are leaning towards, I think I might want to do engineering in college? Who thinks they might want to do something like that? Maybe engineering in college? Yeah, maybe some of you guys, right? Yeah, so if you do, then yeah, this class you're going to be using every single day of your life, probably along with some math classes too, right? So I think I got engineer here, design something. Oh, here's maybe a mechanical engineer designing some piece of machinery on a CAD program. It looks like something related to that. We got ooh, hey, rocket trade. Hey, it's really nice to be in Brevard. We get to see all these rockets go off. Always appreciate that. That's really cool. Okay, so rocket engineering kind of thing. We got oh, I think this is like a quantum blocking, I think is what this is. Ooh, this one here, we're looking at like gravitational waves. There's definitely some mysteries, like some unanswered questions related to physics. I mean, you have to get really deep into physics, like graduate level, but there's actually weirdly enough these competing laws in physics that don't quite mesh. So it's like macroscopic laws of general relativity, like how do planets rotate around stuff. And there's also atomic level physics, like so like how are atoms constructed, and it turns out that those two sets of laws sometimes come into conflict. It's kind of weird. Right? So there's like edge to our knowledge. There's ooh, how about this guy in a Navy uniform? You guys know that all United States Navy submarines are nuclear powered. Right? It's not true for other countries' navies, but that is true for U.S. Navy. We're all nuclear powered. Okay? So if you want to work on a submarine in the Navy, yeah, I know for sure if you're an officer, you have to be able to know how to run a nuclear reactor. Right, so it's an application there. How about ooh, this top one in the middle? This guy's standing in front of a giant machine. Actually, does anybody know what that machine is in the back? Ooh, close, close. Yeah. Actually, not too far off. It's actually it doesn't even really work, but well, not really. I don't know. Maybe that's not quite right. Fusion. They're trying to achieve fusion, right? So, like, how do we get all the energy that we use? Say in this room right now, we're using an enormous amount of energy. I mean, obviously to run that projection and the laptop and the lamps, right? How about the air conditioning, right? It's invisible, but don't forget that, right? My parents went to school; they didn't have air conditioning in schools. Right? I'm glad we do now, Florida. How about all the clothes you're wearing right now? Do you think those had to be manufactured and shipped at some point? Actually, that's true for everything in this room, right? There's energy built into it. How about the breakfast shake this morning, right? There's some agricultural process behind that, right? Or where do we get that energy from? Well, most of it's from fossil fuels, but there's some problems with those, right? We're running out of fossil fuels. They're causing climate change. Right? So what's the solution? Okay, now that's real tricky, you know what would probably solve most of this right away is nuclear fusion, which is a technology we haven't quite cracked yet, but that's what they're working on here. Right? How do you fuse together hydrogen to make helium? Okay.
May I leave 5 minutes early to go to guidance?
You have to go to guidance.
Like 5 minutes early from class.
Um, yeah, just remind me. Then okay. Right. Yeah. All right. We go here. All right. So yeah, so there's definitely some direct applications to this class if you're going to do some kind of engineering type route for sure. Or you know, again, you never really know. So you might be surprised what you get out of this class that you can use down the line. And that's more a segue towards this slide right here. So what do we got here? I got an Apple iPhone. I got a screenshot from ooh, what movie is that? Toy Story. Right. Who was the guy who founded both Apple and Pixar? Who was that? Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. Yeah, right. So I'm going to steal a story from Steve Jobs. Now, the lesson of the story I've seen plenty enough in my own life too, but he just tells it so well. So he did this commencement address at Stanford back in 2005. Actually, I will upload this link to Google Classroom at after school today. So when you see the class video, I'll put that link right there so you guys can watch this too. Okay. So he's talking to these Stanford like as they're graduating, right, about to move on in life, his commencement address. He tells a few stories out of his life. Now, one of the stories he tells is how now he was adopted when he was a kid, and his parents were really poor, but they always wanted to send him to college, right? So they saved up whatever money they could for the first 18 years of his life to pay for college tuition. So he goes to Reed College. Right? He's there for like one semester, I think, right? And then at that point, he steps back and says, okay, you know what? I don't even know what I want to do in life. Little did he know that just in a few years, he was going to, one of the first computer companies, right? Like personal computers, right? This wasn't even a concept in the early 70s, right? Doesn't know what he wants to do in life, doesn't know how college is helping him get there. And he sees all his poor parents' money from 18 years being drained. So he did something a little bit weird here. I'm not going to recommend this to you guys, but worked out for him. Is he actually dropped out of college. And that worked because it liberated him to think about life in a little bit different way. And one thing he started doing was dropping in on classes that just looked interesting and for no other reason. He just followed his interest and followed his heart, right? Not knowing where it was going to lead, right? Uh, by the way, if you get to go to a 4-year university, I found this out too myself, because I realized, oh, there's gaps in my schedule, right? Like in high school, you go to class to class to class to class to lunch to class, right? But at college, it's like, okay, I got this 8:30 class, right? And then I got this hour gap, and I have back-to-back classes, and then I got a 2-hour gap, right? You got gaps, right? And there's lots of big auditorium-sized classes, might sit like 400 students in there. It's like, that astronomy class looks interesting. Ooh, that geography class looks interesting. You can just hop in the back of the class and just learn stuff. Nobody knows you're there. Right? You're not going to get credit. Right? But he would do that too. He would just go around and just hop in classes and not earn credit. And nobody was there. He was just learning stuff. One of the classes that he hopped in on was this class right here. Guys, what is calligraphy? What is calligraphy? Yeah.
It's just a disease.
Yeah. So like what's the art of like writing and fonts, this sort of thing, right? Now, if you were a practical person, I think, oh well, like why would I spend money and time, or well, it's not money, it's dropping in on a calligraphy class. Now, Reed was the college he went to had a well-known calligraphy program, but how many like full-time salaried calligraphers are out there in the world? I don't know, probably not too many. And if you had to make uh, some kind of bet on that. Probably not a practical use of your time, but he was interested in this. So he drops in on this class and just learns all he can about fonts and styles and writing, right? And who knows what this is probably ever going to be useful for, and probably nothing, right? Except that just a few years later, as he's designing some of the very first personal computers with like Steve Wozniak and a few other people just out of his garage, one of the thousands of problems that they had to crack was, well, how do you create a nice and legible font on a pixelated screen? It's maybe easy to take for granted nowadays, but back in the day, right, that was the problem that they had to solve. Right, so, and at that point, all those principles of calligraphy came back to him, and he was able to, like Apple had some of the first like really nice looking fonts, and then of course after that, Microsoft and a bunch of other companies, oh, well, we want really nice fonts too, and they just copied those ideas. And so, yeah, so why do we have nice fonts, and how did personal computers come about, and how did Apple get a leg up in the market back in the day? Yeah, it was all related to him just dropping in on this calligraphy class just because it looked interesting. So, yeah, so this takeaway here is, the lesson is, follow your heart, follow your interests, learn as much as you can about anything, and sometimes how things connect down the line might surprise you. You can't connect the dots going forward. Let's do this one here. So curriculum syllabus, I handed you guys this as you walked in, along with those thumbnail notes. So here's where you guys going to be learning throughout the year. I got all these topics listed out. This is approximately what we're going to be doing. Now, some of these might be plus or minus a few days, but this is probably pretty close to the schedule we're going to be following all the way to May. A bunch of topics you guys get to learn. Here's these two. I have a bunch of slides queued up with questions related to each one of these topics that I think on Wednesday I'm going to go through with you guys, right? Down here at the bottom in this box, here's your guys' Google Classroom code. Okay, so again, tonight I really want you guys to do two things. Hop on that Google Classroom so you guys see that's there. Maybe explore this material a little bit, see what's there. And also ask your parents for a planner if you don't have a planner yet, and start using that planner and realize how much easier that makes your life. We can always do other things too. Like I gave you guys the whole page protector full of these poster notes. So feel free, of course, to look ahead and see the kinds of things you're going to learn. Okay. You guys got this calendar also on the back of that syllabus curriculum page. You guys got that. I think I showed you guys the Google Classroom already. You guys see this? Okay. Yeah. So we did this a little bit. I still got a few things up there. It's got that. Okay. Late work. Right, so of course, it's a good practice to turn your work on time. Please do turn your work on time. Any assignment I give you or your other teachers give you, well, I can definitely speak for myself, but I've never, ever in my life just given something just as busy work or just to have a grade in the grade book. I've never done that, and I never would. Right, so anything that anything that I ever give you guys, there's something that I want you guys to get out of it, like some skill. Okay. This case, I call it slash. Yeah, so turn on time, we're all good. Now, realistically, I know like I've missed some days of school from say like being sick or something like that. So if there's like a rare occasion like, oh dang, I forgot to turn in that assignment, or definitely if I was out of school sick or something like that, like I'm not going to count that against you. So just get it in as soon as you can, then it'll be full credit. It's not really a problem, so that's fine, right? No, what I do really have the slide for though is this last point right here. If assignments are chronically late or lateness is negatively affecting the class, then at that point I have to start taking points off because yeah, like last year this got to be a problem with some students. Like some assignments I don't want to hand back to everybody until everybody's turned it in, because once I hand it back, it's like, okay, well you guys have the answer key at that point. So then if somebody's like not turned something in, now they have answer key, there's incentive to cheat, and which is not good. It's like that instead of so okay, well I can't get this back until I get it from everybody, and then all your classmates are saying, well, when we get this back, and I'd really like to have this back so I can like know what I did or study it or something. Well, one kid hasn't turned it in yet. Had some students that maybe didn't turn in something for like weeks at a time, and I mean, at some point, if it's negatively affecting the class, then at that point I'll take points off. But if it's just like a rare case, it's like a day late, then it's fine. I'll put in full credit. So that's a policy on late work gonna be doing. Ooh, all right. So now I got a bunch of slides. That's all these physics questions. Now, this is about as far as I've been getting in the presentation today. And actually, this is a really good place to pick up starting Wednesday. So I'll flash some of these up here. But I'm going section by section. I just went through every section that we're going to be going through and throw some questions that are related to these. Right. So yeah, probably on Wednesday, I'll pull these up and go through these so that just get your imagination jogging. It's like, what kind of questions I'm going to run into, say, over the next few months that I might actually be able to use someday. Right. So yeah, I said though that's about as far as I've been getting today. So I'm going to close down this recording. I'll post this to Google Classroom, and we've got about a minute of class left. So you guys got any questions, then yeah, please do ask me. And hope you guys had a good day today and are going to have a good semester.